right, so get this. Today we're tackling terraforming Mars.
Really?
Yeah. You want the lowdown on turning a whole planet into, like, a second home? We've got you covered.
Oh, wow.
Not just the game Terraforming Mars,
Right.
but like the real science behind it.
Yeah, that's what I find fascinating about the game is that it's not just some sci-fi fantasy, right?
Right.
It uses current scientific concepts as kind of a foundation.
Yeah.
So it's like a peek into what might actually be possible.
I'm already hooked.
Okay.
But let's back up for a sec.
Okay.
What is terraforming exactly? We've seen it in movies. Like, could we really pull it off in real life?
Yeah, terraforming is essentially transforming a planet's environment to make it habitable for humans.
Okay.
And for Mars, that means tackling some pretty big challenges.
Yeah.
Warming it up enough for liquid water,
Okay.
creating a breathable atmosphere,
Right.
and establishing stable oceans.
So not exactly a weekend project, huh?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a long game.
Yeah.
But, the Terraforming Mars game, it uses real science as its building blocks.
Okay.
So it's less about magic and more about what we could achieve with time and effort.
Okay, so this isn't just about winning a game.
No.
It's like a crash course in, like, planetary engineering.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
The game zeroes in on 3 key things.
Okay.
Temperature, oxygen, and oceans. Each one is essential for making Mars livable.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Can't have a beach party without a beach, right?
Exactly.
But Mars is, it's known for being freezing.
Yeah.
How warm would it need to be for us to, like, ditch the spacesuits and bust out the Hawaiian shirts?
So the goal in the game is to reach a global average temperature of plus 8 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
That's above freezing, which is crucial.
Right.
Because, as you know, liquid water is non-negotiable.
Right.
For life as we know it.
So long Martian ice deserts.
Exactly.
What about breathable air?
Mm-hmm.
How much oxygen do we need to, not suffocate?
Yeah, so the game sets the target at 14% oxygen in the atmosphere.
Okay.
Now, here's the interesting part.
Okay.
You could actually breathe that.
Really?
It's like living at a really high altitude on Earth.
Oh, okay.
Think cities like La Paz in Bolivia.
Oh, whoa. So it'd be like hiking in the Andes, but on Mars.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm picturing mountain climbers, but with spacesuits swapped for oxygen masks.
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of hurdles would people face, like living with less oxygen?
Well, imagine athletes training at high altitudes to boost their red blood cell count.
Right.
Living on Mars might have a similar effect.
Interesting.
But it also means we'd need to, adapt our technology, maybe design buildings with,
Right.
oxygen-rich environments or develop ways to make breathing easier.
Okay, so it wouldn't be as simple as just, like, planting a flag and calling it a day?
It'd be much more complex.
And what about oceans? Are those just for the view, or do they play a bigger role?
No, oceans are vital for regulating temperature, creating weather patterns, and, providing water to drink. Imagine rainfall, rivers, even storms on Mars. It's a whole new world.
This is starting to sound less like science fiction and more like a real possibility.
Yeah.
But how does a board game, capture all this?
Well, the game board itself is incredibly detailed.
Okay.
It's a map of the Tharsis region of Mars, featuring some jaw-dropping landmarks.
Oh, wow.
I think Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in our solar system.
Okay.
And Valles Marineris, a canyon system that makes the Grand Canyon look tiny.
Wait, so we're not just talking about some generic game board.
Yeah.
This is like playing on a real piece of Mars.
Exactly.
Cool.
And those landmarks aren't just for show.
Okay.
They actually impact gameplay.
Oh, how so?
So, for example, placing a city near an ocean gives you bonus resources, reflecting how coastal cities on Earth benefit from trade and access to water.
So the game actually mirrors the strategic advantages of real-world geography.
Exactly.
I love how it weaves those details in.
Yeah, it's all about connecting the game mechanics to the real challenges and opportunities of settling Mars. And it's not just about the planet itself, it's about building a functioning society, and that's where the corporations come in.
Ooh, corporations.
Yes.
Things are about to get competitive.
Yeah, so each player in the game takes on the role of a CEO, leading a corporation with unique strengths and goals.
Okay.
It's not just about gathering resources, it's about making strategic choices based on what your company excels at.
So it's like a space race, but instead of countries, we've got
Yeah.
like companies like SpaceX
Exactly.
vying for Martian dominance.
Yeah.
I'm already picturing like boardroom battles over who controls the best Martian real estate.
Yeah, it really does capture that sense of competition, but also, collaboration.
Okay.
Think about how SpaceX focuses on rockets,
Right.
while other companies might specialize in, like, bioengineering.
Okay.
The game reflects that specialization.
So we're not just terraforming, we're building like a whole Martian economy.
Exactly.
And I bet those corporation cards add another layer of strategy.
Yeah.
Tell me more about how they work.
Well, each corporation card gives you a different starting advantage.
Okay.
Some might be great at generating energy,
Right.
while others might excel at developing new technologies.
Gotcha.
It's all about choosing a corporation that aligns with your overall strategy.
It's like choosing your superpower
Yeah.
for the Martian game.
Exactly.
This is getting good. I can't wait to like dive into the details of how these corporations like shape the terraforming process.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got our corporations ready to, make their mark on Mars. But how does the like actual terraforming process unfold in the game?
Okay.
It can't be as easy as just snapping your fingers and poof, breathable atmosphere.
You're right. It's definitely not that simple.
Okay.
The game breaks down the terraforming process into generations, which represent, chunks of time where players take turns developing their corporations and contributing to the overall effort.
Right.
It's like a step-by-step guide to transforming a planet.
Makes sense. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Exactly.
And neither will a habitable Mars.
Yeah.
So what happens in these generations?
So each generation is divided into phases.
Right.
And the first one is all about, research and development.
Okay.
It's where you get to flex your scientific muscles and acquire new technologies to advance your terraforming goals.
So it's like brainstorming and planning before you start like breaking ground on your Martian megacity.
Yeah.
What kinds of technologies are we talking about here?
Think of it like drawing cards that represent different projects.
Okay.
These could range from introducing plant life to building advanced infrastructure or even experimenting with ways to manipulate the Martian climate.
So it's like a deck of what-if cards.
Yeah, exactly.
For Martian innovation.
Yeah.
You could draw a card that lets you build like giant mirrors to reflect sunlight and warm up the planet, or maybe one that lets you seed the atmosphere with microbes to create breathable air.
You got it.
Cool.
The research phase is all about expanding your options and setting the stage for your grand terraforming vision.
Okay, research is done. Blueprints are finalized.
Okay.
Time to roll up our sleeves and get to work.
Right.
What happens in the next phase?
That's where the action really heats up, literally. It's the action phase where you put your plans into motion and start transforming Mars. Right. From, a cold, barren rock into a vibrant, life-sustaining planet.
Okay, so it's go time.
Yeah.
What kinds of actions can players take during this phase?
So you have two main options.
Okay.
You can play project cards from your hand, which represent, actually implementing those research breakthroughs.
Oh.
Or you can choose from standard projects that are available to all players.
So it's a blend of like pursuing your own unique strategy based on your corporation's strengths and adapting to the overall situation on Mars.
Exactly. You might have a master plan based on the cards you've drawn.
Right.
But you also have to stay agile and respond to what your competitors are doing and how the Martian environment is evolving.
So what are some examples of these standard projects?
Okay.
Give me the juicy details.
Well, imagine building a sprawling solar farm to harness the Martian sunshine and boost your energy production. Or launching an asteroid from the belt and guiding it into a controlled impact to release heat and warm up the planet.
Okay.
Or even creating a network of underground aquifers to store water and create a more hospitable environment for life.
Whoa, talk about thinking big.
Yeah.
These aren't just baby steps. We're talking about planetary scale engineering projects.
It's about thinking long term and understanding that terraforming Mars isn't a quick fix.
Yeah.
It's a multi-generational effort.
And I bet each action has like its own set of consequences, right? It's not just about like playing cards. It's about understanding like the ripple effects of your choices.
Absolutely. It's a delicate balancing act.
Yeah.
For example, focusing heavily on raising the temperature early on might give you a head start.
Right.
But if you neglect oxygen production, you could hit a wall later in the game when you realize your Martian colonists can't breathe.
It's a classic case of short-term gains versus long-term sustainability.
Exactly.
Just like here on Earth, we need to think about like the big picture and how our actions today will affect generations to come.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that makes the game so engaging.
Yeah.
It forces you to grapple with real-world challenges in a, fun and thought-provoking way.
So we've researched, we've acted, we've like strategically manipulated the Martian environment.
Right.
Now what?
Okay.
Time to sit back and watch the plants grow.
Not quite. All that hard work needs to, pay off, right?
Right.
That's where the production phase comes in.
Okay.
It's like harvest time for your Martian colony.
Right.
Based on your production levels.
Yeah.
And how much you've managed to terraform the planet.
Okay.
You generate resources like mega credits, the Martian currency, of course.
Of course.
As well as steel, titanium plants, energy, and even heat.
So the more you terraform, the more resources you generate, which fuels further terraforming efforts.
Exactly.
It's a virtuous cycle of like planetary improvement.
Precisely. It creates a positive feedback loop where your terraforming efforts directly contribute to your economic growth, allowing you to invest in even more ambitious projects.
Right.
It's a fascinating reflection of how, a real Martian civilization might evolve.
I'm noticing a theme here.
Yeah.
Resource management seems to be a big deal in this game.
Very important.
Why is that so important when it comes to terraforming Mars?
It's crucial because resources are finite, especially on another planet.
Right.
You can't just go to the hardware store for more steel or plug into the power grid when you run out of energy.
Right.
You need to be incredibly strategic about how you spend your resources, where you invest your mega credits, and how you balance production with consumption.
It's like playing a giant game of Tetris.
Yeah.
With the Martian economy, trying to fit all the pieces together without toppling the whole structure.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And it highlights a valuable lesson that applies not just to terraforming Mars, but to our lives here on Earth.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
You can't just keep like consuming resources without thinking about the consequences.
Exactly.
We need to be like more mindful of our ecological footprint and find sustainable solutions to meet our needs.
Yeah, exactly. Terraforming Mars reminds us that responsible resource management is essential for the long-term survival of any civilization, whether we're talking about a Martian colony or our own planet.
So what are some of the specific challenges players face when it comes to like managing resources in the game?
Right.
I can imagine it gets pretty intense.
It does.
Trying to balance all those competing demands.
Yeah. So you might find yourself in a situation where you desperately need to buy a crucial project card to, advance your strategy.
Right.
But you're short on mega credits.
Right.
Or maybe you've got a grand plan to build, a massive network of transportation tunnels, but you're running low on steel.
So it's all about making tough choices and prioritizing your projects.
Exactly.
You can't have it all, at least not right away.
Exactly. You might have to delay that groundbreaking research project to focus on generating more energy, or maybe you need to sacrifice short-term profits to invest in infrastructure that will pay off down the road. It's all about, strategic trade-offs and understanding the long-term consequences of your decisions.
It sounds like playing Terraforming Mars is running a real-life company.
Yeah.
But with like the added pressure of ensuring the survival of a whole colony on another planet.
Exactly.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah. It's a constant juggling act.
Yeah.
Trying to balance, your immediate needs with your long-term vision for Mars. And that's where the game's, strategic depth really shines through.
Okay. So we've got corporations vying for resources.
Yeah.
Players grappling with like tough choices and a whole planet hanging in the balance.
Yeah.
But it's not just a solo mission, right?
Right.
How does player interaction come into play?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
You're not terraforming in a vacuum.
Okay.
You're competing with other corporations for resources, territory, and those all important victory points.
So it's like a high-stakes game of Martian Monopoly,
Yeah.
but with a lot more science and a lot fewer hotels.
Exactly.
I'm picturing like cutthroat negotiations, maybe even some sabotage.
It definitely gets competitive. You might find yourself trying to outbid another player for a valuable project card. Or maybe you'll launch a well-timed asteroid to disrupt your opponent's carefully laid plans.
So there's definitely an element of like rivalry.
Yes.
But I imagine there's also room for, cooperation, right?
Absolutely.
After all, terraforming a whole planet is like a pretty big job.
It is a massive undertaking.
Even for a bunch of like ambitious CEOs.
Absolutely. Sometimes it makes sense to, team up with other players to achieve a common goal, especially in the early stages of the game when everyone is struggling to get a foothold on Mars.
Right.
You might pool your resources to fund a major project that benefits everyone. Or maybe you'll agree to, focus on different aspects of terraforming to maximize efficiency.
So it's a delicate dance between competition and collaboration, just like in the real world.
Exactly.
You have to be like strategic about who you trust and when to, strike out on your own.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things that makes the game so fascinating.
Yeah.
From, a sociological perspective. It makes you wonder how human behavior might evolve on another planet. Would we fall back on old pattern of competition and conflict?
Yeah.
Or would we find new ways to cooperate and build a better future together?
No, that's a thought-provoking question.
It is.
It makes you realize that terraforming Mars isn't just about like the technical challenges. It's also about
the human element.
The human element.
Exactly.
It's about understanding how, like, our values, our beliefs, and our social structures might change as we, like, venture beyond Earth.
Absolutely. Wow. And it's a reminder that we have a lot to learn from each other, both in the game and in real life.
Right.
By working together, sharing knowledge, and respecting different perspectives, we can achieve, truly incredible things.
Well said. But before we get like too philosophical, let's get back to the game mechanics.
Okay.
You mentioned earlier that players can claim milestones and fund awards.
Yes.
What's like the significance of those? Do we get like a trophy for being the best Martian terraformer?
Not exactly a trophy, but bragging rights are definitely on the line.
Okay, cool.
So milestones are one-time achievements that reward you with bonus victory points.
Okay.
It's like a race to hit certain benchmarks and prove your terraforming prowess.
Okay, so it's like earning like badges of honor for your like Martian achievements.
Exactly.
What are some examples of these milestones?
Okay. Well, you could earn the coveted title of terraformer by reaching a particularly high terraform rating, showing that you've made, significant progress in transforming the Martian environment.
Right.
Or you could become the mayor. Oh, wow.
By establishing multiple thriving cities, demonstrating your ability to build, a sustainable Martian civilization.
Ooh, Mayor of Mars.
Yeah.
Now that's a title I'd put on my business card.
Exactly.
And what about the awards?
Okay.
Are those like the Martian Oscars?
Kind of like that, yeah.
For terraforming excellence?
Yeah, so awards are given out at the end of the game for various categories, like having the most greenery, the most advanced technology, or even the most efficient energy production.
Right.
And here's the catch.
Okay.
Players can contribute mega credits to fund these awards.
Okay.
But the victory points go to the player who performs best in that category.
Right.
Not necessarily the one who funded it.
So it's like a risky gamble.
Yeah.
You might invest heavily in like the best botanical garden award, hoping to win it yourself.
Exactly.
But another player could swoop in with their like superior plant growing skills.
Yeah. And snatch the prize right out from under you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It adds an element of unpredictability.
Right.
And encourages players to, specialize in different areas, creating a more diverse and dynamic gameplay experience.
It's like a strategic mind game.
Yeah.
Trying to anticipate which awards will be like most valuable and how your opponents might try to,
outmaneuver you.
Outmaneuver you.
Yeah.
I'm starting to sweat just thinking about it.
It definitely keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
And it highlights another important aspect of terraforming Mars.
Okay.
It's not a solitary endeavor.
Right.
You're constantly interacting with other players, adapting to their moves, and trying to anticipate their strategies.
It sounds like Terraforming Mars is more than just a game.
It is, yeah.
It's a simulation of the complexities and challenges of transforming a planet.
Exactly.
Forces you to think about the big picture, the long-term consequences, and the human element of this ambitious endeavor.
Absolutely. It's a game that sparks the imagination, encourages strategic thinking, and reminds us that we have the potential to achieve, incredible things when we set our minds to it.
Well said.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to grab my corporation card, plot my Martian mega projects, and dive into the next generation of terraforming fun.
Me too. I think we're both ready for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll explore, even more strategic nuances of terraforming Mars. And delve deeper into the long-term vision required to successfully turn the red planet into a thriving second home for humanity.
Listeners, join us next time as we wrap up our Martian adventure and explore the possibilities and challenges that lie ahead in our quest to, colonize another world. Okay, so we've covered the basics of terraforming Mars, from warming up the planet to building those bustling Martian cities.
Right.
But let's get down to brass tacks.
Okay.
What are the secrets to winning this game? I'm ready to unleash my inner Martian tycoon and build an empire that would make Elon Musk jealous.
All right, so becoming the ultimate Martian CEO, it requires more than just ambition. It demands strategy. One of the most crucial things to grasp is your corporation's unique strengths and weaknesses. Each one comes with, different starting resources and special abilities, which should shape your overall approach.
So it's not just about playing the game. It's like stepping into the role of a real Martian CEO.
Exactly. Yeah.
I need to think like a visionary leader, a master strategist. You get the idea.
Exactly. It's about embodying the spirit of your corporation and leveraging those unique advantages to your benefit. For instance, if you're leading Tharsis Republic, which is all about, urban development, you'll want to focus on projects that boost your mega credit production and allow you to sprawl across the Martian landscape with cities galore.
But if I'm at the helm of Phobolog, the space mining giants, I'd be looking to capitalize on those asteroid fields, grabbing resources from space and building a stellar infrastructure network.
Exactly.
It's like choosing your path to Martian domination.
Precisely. Each corporation offers, a different flavor and a unique set of challenges. It's all about playing to your strengths and building a strategy that maximizes your chances of success.
All right, so I've got my corporation, I got my ambition, and I'm ready to start terraforming. But where do I even begin? What's the roadmap to turning Mars into my personal paradise?
Once you've got a handle on your corporation's strengths, it's time to draft a long-term strategy. Think about your primary goals. Do you want to race towards raising the temperature, flooding the planet with oceans, or pumping up those oxygen levels? Or maybe your focus is on cornering a specific resource market, or developing game-changing technology.
It's like planning a city. But on a planetary scale.
Exactly.
We're talking zoning regulations, infrastructure development, maybe even some carefully placed Martian parks for those interplanetary picnics.
That's a great way to visualize it. And this master plan, this Martian roadmap, will guide your every decision throughout the game, from the cards you choose to the projects you prioritize.
But I bet even the best laid plans can go awry.
Of course.
Especially when you've got a bunch of other ambitious CEOs trying to, outmaneuver you.
That's the beauty of terraforming Mars, right? It's a dynamic game with unexpected twists and turns, your opponent's actions, the availability of certain cards, even random events like asteroid impacts or Martian dust storms can throw a wrench into your carefully crafted strategy. So
it's not enough to be a master planner.
No.
You also need to be adaptable,
right,
quick on your feet,
yeah,
and ready to improvise.
exactly. It's a delicate balance between having a clear vision and being flexible enough to roll with the punches.
Right.
And that's where the real skill of the game comes in. It's about anticipating potential obstacles, weighing risks and rewards, and knowing when to shift gears to stay ahead of the curve.
Speaking of adapting and overcoming, let's talk about those project cards. They seem to be the lifeblood of terraforming in this game.
Yeah, they were very important.
What makes them so important?
The project cards are the engine of innovation and the heart of your terraforming efforts. Each card represents a unique project with its own set of costs, requirements, and benefits.
Right.
Some cards will directly contribute to raising those global parameters, temperature, oxygen, oceans, while others might focus on boosting your economy, advancing your technology, or even granting you special abilities that can shake up the game.
So it's not just about playing cards willy-nilly.
No.
It's about choosing the right cards at the right time to maximize their impact.
Absolutely. You need to think, several steps ahead.
Right.
Don't just consider the immediate effects of a card, but also how it, fits into your long-term strategy.
Okay, so I'm looking at my hand. I'm trying to figure out which card to play next.
Right.
What are some of the things I should be considering? Are there any secret combos or power plays?
Oh, Terraforming Mars is full of clever combinations and synergistic plays that can catapult you ahead of the competition.
Right. Give me an example.
So, for example, imagine playing a card that ramps up your plant production,
followed
by another card that lets you convert those plants into greenery tiles, giving you a massive boost to your oxygen levels.
Cool.
It's like a chain reaction of terraforming goodness.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like those cooking shows where they take a bunch of seemingly random ingredients and combine them in a way that creates culinary magic.
Yeah.
Except instead of delicious food, we're creating a habitable planet.
That's a great analogy. And discovering these synergies is one of the most, satisfying parts of the game.
Yeah.
It's about finding creative ways to maximize the efficiency of your projects and outsmart your opponents.
So it's not just about playing the cards. It's about understanding how they interact and building a cohesive strategy around those interactions.
It's like a game of chess, but with a lot more asteroids and a lot less sacrificing pawns.
All right, so I'm feeling inspired,
but
I'm also a little intimidated.
That's understandable.
Are there any common traps?
Yeah, there are definitely some.
Or pitfalls that newbies like myself should watch out for?
Right.
Give me the insider tips to avoid making rookie mistakes.
One of the most common mistakes new players make is underestimating the importance of a, strong early game economy.
Okay.
It's tempting to jump straight into terraforming, but if you neglect building a solid economic foundation, you'll struggle to keep up with the competition later in the game.
So it's like trying to build a skyscraper on a foundation of sand.
Right.
It might look impressive at first,
yeah,
but eventually the whole thing's going to crumble.
A perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Another common mistake is spreading yourself too thin.
Okay.
Trying to, dabble in every aspect of terraforming or resource production can lead to mediocrity in all areas.
Right.
It's often more effective to, specialize, to choose a lane and become the undisputed expert in that area.
Focus and prioritization.
Yeah.
Got it.
Right.
It's like that old saying, jack of all trades, master of none.
Exactly.
Better to be the Martian king of oxygen production than a mediocre dabbler in everything.
Exactly. It's about identifying your core strengths and leveraging them to their fullest potential.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
Terraforming Mars isn't just a game of luck or chance.
It's much more than that.
It's a game of strategy, adaptability, and a whole lot of Martian ingenuity.
Precisely. It's a game that constantly challenges you to, think ahead, analyze the situation, and make informed decisions that will shape the destiny of your Martian colony.
And it's a game that, like, sparks the imagination.
Yeah.
And makes you wonder about the possibilities of human innovation and the challenges of, like, settling another world.
Without a doubt. Terraforming Mars is a testament to, our fascination with space exploration and our desire to, like, push the boundaries as possible.
Well, listeners, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Terraforming Mars.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Hopefully you've gained, like, a newfound appreciation for the complexities of terraforming, the importance of resource management, and the power of strategic thinking.
Absolutely.
And maybe, like us, you've been inspired to dream big about humanity's future among the stars.
I hope so.
So next time you gather around the game board, remember that you're not just playing a game. You're participating in a grand experiment.
Exactly.
A thought-provoking exploration of what it might take to make another planet our home.
And who knows, maybe someday the lessons we learned from Terraforming Mars will help us turn science fiction into reality.
Until next time. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those Martian dreams alive.
Absolutely.